So today we're going to dig into Google's newest AI model, Gemini 3.1 Pro. And we're really asking one big question. Is this just another small update, or are we looking at a genuine leap forward in how AI actually thinks? And look, I get it. You're probably thinking, another one, already. It feels like we get a new AI release every other week, right? And yeah, it is a lot to keep up with. But this one is worth paying attention to. See, Google isn't just saying it's bigger or faster. The claim here is that it's fundamentally better at reasoning, at actually thinking its way through a new problem. So let's get to the bottom line of what that really means. What we're talking about here is a potential leap in AI logic. Google is basically framing this new model as the one you bring out for your hardest challenges, the stuff that goes way beyond just asking simple questions. So what is it in a nutshell? Well, Gemini 3.1 Pro is the next big step from Google, and its whole reason for being is to tackle problems that need multiple steps of logic to solve. This isn't just about knowing more facts, it's about being able to use those facts in new and, well, creative ways. Now, talk is cheap. Big claims are easy to make. So let's look at the numbers and see how this new model actually stacks up on some key tests. Okay, first up, on a test with a pretty dramatic name, Humanity's Last Exam, which really just measures advanced, specialized knowledge, Gemini 3.1 Pro set a new record. It hit 44.4%, which is a nice jump ahead of its older version and its main competitor. That's a solid win. But honestly, that's not even the most interesting part of the story. The thing that's really turning heads isn't how it handles stuff it's already learned, but how it deals with problems it has never, ever seen before. And this next number really drives that point home. On a benchmark called ARC-AGI-2, it scored a whopping 77.1%. Now, to put that into perspective, the last version scored just 31.1%. That's not just an improvement, that is a massive, massive leap. So why is that number such a huge deal? Well, it's because this test is specifically designed with brand new logic puzzles. The AI can't cheat, it can't just look up the answer, it has to actually reason its way through, step by step. So that huge score suggests a real jump in pure problem-solving skills. Okay, so it's a logic powerhouse. Got it. But that doesn't automatically mean it's the undisputed champ in every single category. Let's get some perspective and see how it stacks up against the competition in the real world. Now, this is fascinating. This is the Arena leaderboard, which is basically driven by regular users voting on which AI output they like best. And you can see here for just general writing, Claude's Opus 4.6 model is still number one, with Gemini coming in a close second. And for writing code, Gemini 3.1 Pro is actually in fourth place. But there is a huge piece of context we need to add here. As the source material itself points out, this particular leaderboard is, and I quote, run on vibes. So what does that actually mean? Well, it means people are voting for what looks good or what feels right to them. That doesn't always mean it's the most factually accurate or logically sound answer. An AI can write something that's super confident and sounds amazing, but is just plain wrong. It's a really important distinction to remember. Okay, so let's move away from the abstract scores and the leaderboards and bring this all back down to earth. What does better reasoning actually mean for you? Whether you're a developer, a business owner, or just someone who's curious about this stuff. One of the biggest areas this will have an impact is something called agentic workflows. It sounds technical, but the idea is simple. Think of it like giving an AI a big, complex goal and letting it act like an agent or an assistant that figures out all the steps and then just does them. And on a test for exactly this, Gemini 3.1 Pro almost doubled its score. So what would that actually look like? Well, imagine telling an AI, plan and budget a team offsite for 20 people in Austin next month. An AI agent with this kind of reasoning wouldn't just give you a list of ideas. It would create a whole plan, then go out and research venues, compare flight costs, check hotels, and then come back to you with a complete budgeted itinerary. It handles the whole project from start to finish. And that kind of capability leads to really practical benefits we can all see. For developers, it means they can build way smarter AI assistants. For a designer, it could mean getting a perfectly clean vector logo just from a simple text description. For the rest of us, it means getting way more detailed and subtle answers to tricky questions. And for businesses, it's all about faster, more reliable automation. All right, so you're probably wondering, okay, cool, where can I actually try this thing out? Let's talk about where Gemini 3.1 Pro is available right now. So Google is rolling it out in a preview phase across a bunch of its products. For general users, you can find it in the Gemini app and Notebook LM. If you're a developer, you'll want to check out AI Studio and the Antigravity IDE. And for the big business clients, it's being woven into Vertex AI and Gemini Enterprise. And here's a quick but really important point, especially for anyone who builds with this stuff. Even with this big performance boost, Google has kept the price, the API cost, exactly the same. And the amount of info it can process at once, the context window, is also unchanged. So you're getting more power for the same price, which is always good news. So we'll end on this thought. It feels like we're really seeing a shift, right? From AI as just a giant database of facts to AI as a true reasoning engine. And as it gets better and better at solving our problems, the real question for us becomes, what are the right problems, big and small, that we should be asking it to solve next? It's definitely something to think about.